How do you deal with grief? Or do you deal with it at all? Do you push it down? Do you try to overcome it? Or do you succumb to it and it crumbles you from the inside out? I just watched The Thing with Feathers, and here's my honest review. Um, it was a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. I haven't seen not one trailer about this movie, so I went in completely blind. But I saw that it was starring Mr. Cumberbatch, and I love him. And he did an amazing job. He absolutely delivered in this movie. So I love whenever I get the chance to see him act. So here is my spoiler warning so I can um delve into the plot a little bit. First thing I want to say is I peeped this in the pre-credits. The movie is based off of a novel called Grief is the Thing with Feathers. This was left out in the movie title, and I believe it was left out for the sole reason for the watcher to kind of interpret and like dissect the movie independently. So with like to figure out what grief means and kind of to uncover all the metaphors. So this was a little bit spoiled for me that this thing with feathers is his grief. Um Still I got the same experience trying to piece together everything like the foreshadowing, the metaphors, all of these visuals that happen to be his grief. So this movie was just beautiful and it was just told so eloquently. So here's the plot. You are following a father and his two sons who just lost their mother. So they're grieving, or honestly, the father's in despair. And how's he going to deal with it? So he starts seeing this crow like creature that keeps on showing up. And it seems to start to kind of overcome his mental. Like he starts literally, um, he starts cawing at random moments. And his kids are seeing it, we're seeing it, and I'm kind of freaked out. He's constantly drawing these drawings of like these dark images, and there's like a crow in every single one of them, and then you start to see the crow appear, and then he's talking to the crow, and they're exchanging moments and conversation. So you start to see more of this crow that seems to be his grief and how he's dealing with it. So at first he's not dealing with it at all. He is trying to push it away. He's trying to fight it. There is this one scene that is so crazy to me. The crow just comes into like his little study and just starts Swiss cheesing his butt. And I'm talking like combos, is just beating the mess out of him and then leaves. And then he wakes up. So right now he's not winning. Further along, he starts to allow it to kind of take its course. So at this point, he's dealing with his grief, but he's still not in a healthy spot. And I remember thinking his kids are handling the death of their mother so well because they didn't seem to be doing much. Like they didn't seem to be having a hard time. But that's where I was wrong. It was the lack thereof, their actions and their emotions that showed how they were grieving as well. So the crow moves on from their father to one of the kids or both of the kids at this point, and it wakes one of the kids up. So he's yelling, he's screaming, he's yelling for his dad. And he comes upstairs, and the kid goes, "There's someone in the room." The funniest thing to me, real quick, is as the kid said, "There's someone in the room," this guy responded so quickly, but no, no, there's not. No, there's no one in here. There's no one in here. It's like he was trying to convince himself. Like he sounded so fearful. The quickest, like he said that so quick, and I thought that was kind of funny because he was like, "No, there's no one in here. No, it was a dream." Like he was like he was trying to like disprove that there was someone in there, and I thought that was funny. Um, okay, to get, why do I feel like this camera is like moving over? Did I get, what happened? Did it move? Okay. Anyways, to get back on topic, so the kids start dealing with their grief and they're angry. Let's say they're fighting and they're arguing with their father, and they're all just not dealing with it well at all. So further along, the crow starts saying lines like, "There's worse than me," and "You'll see," and that kind of, so it seems like the crow is trying to help him. And honestly, when you're watching it and as you like see him kind of cope with this grief, the crow, who seems like he's evil, is helping him deal with his grief. Like he really is. Um and he also said this line that was like, some someone may see me as vulgar. I think he said even cunning. Not cunning. He said some may see me as vulgar, but I got him right where I need him to be. And I want to put the quote up there because it was a really good quote. But that kind of hit. Um, Later down the line in the movie, he is fighting off the crow. He's telling the crow, just leave me alone. So the crow says, like, it just shows like there's worse than me. He was like, okay, you're gonna get visited by someone else, basically. If you think I'm bad, there's worse. And the next like title slide is titled The Demon. So here's where it gets like deeper and darker, and here's where the lessons come in. So there's this demon, and he is at their house, and he's at their door, and he's on the outside, and he comes 4 times as 4 different people. The first is like this neighbor that doesn't exist. He's knocking on the door, "Hey, can you let me in?" The next guy, he's asking for milk. Um, the third one is the police banging on it saying, "Open it up." He's like, "You're not real." The kids are getting scared. He's not falling for this deception that the enemy is trying to overtake him with. Um, so he's not falling for it. The next one is his wife, and she's crying and she's talking to him, and she's like, "Honey, I'm here, like, please, like, come outside." The kids are crying, they're like, it's mom," and he's like, "No, it's not." um and he ends up going outside. The lesson that I like with this specifically is that the enemy cannot come in until you give him reign, until you allow him to come in. He could not enter unless given permission. So he goes outside, it's raining, and then he just falls. He is completely just tortured and lost. So this demon literally starts tearing him apart. And then the crow comes back, and the crow ends up killing the demon, and then he seems to be dead after this battle. And it's crazy because now the kids and the father are asking for this demon, or not the demon, the crow, to still be alive. They're like, "No, please, like, we need you." So it's crazy that the crow is like, he's the lesser of both evils, but they prefer him because it was something to live with, you know? So the crow is still alive, and in the next couple of scenes, they learn to live with their grief. They're on the couch, they're in the bed, and they are just living with this grief. And then They let him go. And they live happily ever after.